to be able to do all of this, right?
because they're still just irrecoverable errors that are left over from the fact that your brain has finite size. And this gets at something which I've thought for a long time, which I think quantum mechanics
Did he just drop Nazism? That my brain has a finite size?
has finite size. And this gets at something which I've thought for a long time, which I think quantum mechanics itself has to be emergent. And what's the limit in which quantum mechanics is emergent? It's the limit where the observer is infinitely big. Um, and you can get away with that without gravity because you can just make them really heavy and it's fine. But when you have gravity and you try to make them really heavy, they can collapse into a black hole. And so to avoid that, they can't be so heavy. And now we need some generalization of quantum mechanics to finite size observers. Um, and so we proposed some formalism for this in this somewhat crazy paper that we just wrote. And so, I should be clear that this is not something that I've, convinced the whole community of. I'm not totally sure I convinced myself of it either. But it's
Right.
sort of the level, it's an illustration of how far you have to go
Yeah.
to try to get at these hard problems of holography and quantum
I mean,
cosmology.
Tuft, of course, has been thinking about a theory that would underlie quantum mechanics and quantum mechanics would emerge from it. Does your work have any relation to things that he has
Yeah, I
been
think it's
talking about?
different because he wants things to be secretly classified.
Well, now this equals E equals M C squared. It's just another form of energy, right? Now, okay, go on.
Classical.
We did something. All right, fucking oath we did. That's awesome.
And I
We
don't
did
I don't
something
need
together,
that. Yeah, he
homie.
wants to have some classical theory with a lot of degrees of freedom that somehow fakes quantum mechanics with a lot of degrees of freedom. I'm okay with the world being quantum mechanical. That's okay. But what I want is what I call emergent quantum mechanics in the sense that there's some parameter where as I take it to infinity, I recover the usual sort of Copenhagen quantum mechanics. But then now with this parameter, if I take it to zero, then I get this one-dimensional Hilbert space. And so
Yeah.
I can sort of interpolate between the Copenhagen when the observer
Bim.
entropy is infinity and a one-dimensional Hilbert space when the
Right.
observer entropy is zero. Um, but I think to motivate this, you really need gravity. I don't think it can be motivated just by sitting
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I
Totally
think quantum
understand.
mechanics is weird." I mean, in fact, I don't think quantum mechanics is that weird, to be honest. I think it's the weirdness is exaggerated.
Yeah.